Can fake meat save the world? A question that might seem outlandish at first glance, but one that holds profound implications for our planet. In our quest for sustainability, we've seen a rise in plant-based diets and a surge in the market for faux meat products. These meat alternatives, crafted from plants, are not just a fad, but could be pivotal in our fight against climate change. But before we delve into this, let's understand the environmental impact of traditional meat production. Meat production, as it stands today, is a significant contributor to global greenhouse gas emissions. Let's unpack this. When we think about meat production, we often envision the final product on our plates, but there's a lot more going on behind the scenes. You see, it all starts with deforestation. To make room for livestock and their feed crops, vast swathes of forest are cleared. This isn't just about losing trees, it's about losing an essential carbon sink. Forests absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, acting as a natural buffer against climate change. When they're cut down, not only is this buffer lost, but the stored carbon is released back into the atmosphere. But the environmental impact doesn't stop there. Once the forests are cleared, enter the livestock. Cattle in particular are notorious methane producers. Methane is a potent greenhouse gas with a warming potential over 20 times that of carbon dioxide. According to the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, livestock accounts for nearly 15% of all human-induced greenhouse gas emissions, with the majority of this coming from beef and dairy cattle. Then there's the issue of water. Producing a single kilogram of beef requires a staggering 15,000 liters of water, much of which is used to grow feed crops. To put this into perspective, the water footprint of soybeans, a common ingredient in plant-based meats, is just 2,000 liters per kilogram. That's a massive difference. And we haven't even touched on the pollution from animal waste, the overuse of antibiotics, or the loss of biodiversity. The list goes on. So we're faced with a conundrum. On one hand, meat is a dietary staple for many, deeply ingrained in our cultures and cuisines. On the other hand, the environmental consequences are undeniable and growing more severe with each passing year. With such a hefty environmental price tag, could the solution lie in fake meat? The term fake meat might sound unappetizing, but it's a rapidly growing industry that could be a game changer for our planet. Let's unravel this mystery of fake meat. To start with, it's not exactly fake, but rather an alternative to traditional meat. This includes plant-based meat substitutes, lab-grown meat, and even insect-based protein sources. The production of these alternatives varies, but the goal is the same: to mimic the taste, texture, and nutritional profile of meat without the environmental cost. This meat mimicry has led to the rise of companies like Beyond Meat and Impossible Foods. These innovators are using science and technology to transform plants into something remarkably similar to animal flesh. Beyond Meat, for instance, uses pea protein, while Impossible Foods uses a molecule called heme derived from soy to give its burgers a meaty flavor. But why the sudden surge in popularity? Well, it's a combination of escalating consumer awareness about the environmental impact of meat production and the relentless drive of these companies to create products that taste just as good, if not better, than their animal-based counterparts. Now let's talk about the environmental benefits. Producing these meat substitutes requires significantly less water and land compared to traditional meat. For instance, it's estimated that producing a pound of plant-based meat uses up to 90% less water and 95% less land than producing a pound of beef. Plus, it results in nearly 90% less greenhouse gas emissions. These numbers are staggering and illustrate the potential for plant-based meat to drastically reduce our environmental footprint. At the same time, these alternatives can contribute to global food security. They can be produced more efficiently and sustainably, which could help feed a growing global population without further straining our planet's resources. So we've seen the potential benefits, but can fake meat really save the world? Well, that's a question we'll delve into as we continue our exploration. The answer to whether fake meat can save the world is not a simple yes or no. It's a complex issue requiring a balance of optimism and pragmatism. The potential of fake meat to reduce environmental impact is tremendous. Producing it requires fewer resources, emits less greenhouse gases, and could significantly cut down on deforestation caused by livestock farming. It's a promising solution, a beacon of hope in our fight against climate change. Yet, it's not without its challenges. The first is taste. Despite the strides made in plant-based proteins and lab-grown meats, there's still a gap between the taste of fake meat and the real thing. Convincing the meat lovers among us to switch is no easy feat. Then there's the issue of cost. While prices are falling, fake meat is still more expensive than its traditional counterpart. It's an obstacle for widespread adoption, particularly in countries where meat is a staple and budgets are tight. And speaking of adoption, this is perhaps the biggest challenge. For fake meat to truly make a difference, it needs to be embraced on a global scale. It's not just about having the option available, it's about changing eating habits, shifting cultures, and educating populations about its benefits. While fake meat alone may not save the world, it's certainly a step in the right direction. It's a piece of the puzzle, an important part of a broader strategy to reduce our environmental footprint and create a sustainable future. The prospect of a meatless future may seem daunting to some, but it's a conversation we need to have for our planet's sake. We've explored the environmental impact of meat production, the rise of fake meat, and pondered on whether this food revolution could save our world. In our journey, we've learned that our food choices hold power. The burgeoning industry of fake meat is not just a fad, it's a response to a global need. A need for sustainable, ethical and healthy food alternatives. While the world may not turn vegetarian overnight, every individual action matters. Our choices at the grocery store, our conversations with friends and family, the values we impart to our children, all these have a ripple effect that can drive immense change. If this video sparked your curiosity, hit the like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more thought-provoking content. Remember, every small step counts towards a healthier planet.